In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why you feel so terrible on a cut and how you can fix it. It doesn't need to be more starvation, more cardio, less food, more suffering. You've ran this loop over and over again and it hasn't gotten you the results that you wanted to. I'm going to show you exactly the 6 things that you're going to need to look at to know how to get out of this, the symptoms, the actionable takeaways, the 6 adjustments that we use with all of our clients, over 100 high performers that have gotten shredded, eating more food, lifting more weights, feeling better, and just doing it in a way that's more sustainable. Hi, my name is Noel Nolm. I am a pro football player for the Toronto Argonauts and 2-time D1 captain. I played 6 seasons of D1 football for Eastern Washington University. Now I'm the founder of Make It Happen Coaching, where we help high-performing men get in the best shape of their life, get shredded using metabolic priming. I'm going to show you exactly what metabolic priming is, and how we make all these adjustments based off of these symptoms that we're seeing. Let's get right into it. First of all, let's get to this dashboard and what exactly that we're looking at, the signals that you need to be seeing and that you're not seeing right now. If you guys want my full guide that's going to have everything you need from this video, go to my Instagram right now, go click the link down below and DM me shred. I'll cover more of this at the end, but that's exactly where you're going to get the guide. So just go head over there right now. Let's get into this. Okay, the 6 things that you need to look at. You've only been looking at one, which is the scale. The scale is great, but the scale doesn't tell you the difference between what's sodium, what is, digesting food in your belly, water weight. It doesn't tell you those things. What is great for the scale is a weekly average, not a daily trend. These are the 6 signals that you also need to add in, that you need to be looking at as well. This is going to be so important for your fat loss, because the issue, and before we even get to these 6 signals, this is what actually happens when you get into a cut. When you just drop all this food and you do a bunch of cardio and you have no idea how much of a deficit you're in, or you keep pushing deficit after deficit. Maybe you do track your food, but you've done cut after cut and it just gets harder every single time. It gets harder and you don't actually get the body composition results you want. Like, you don't look like you really want to look. You're not shredded. Maybe you've lost the weight, but you don't lose the fat. This is exactly why. When you cut food, your leptin is going to fall. This is your hormone that's going to control your hunger, food obsession. So when this happens, your mood's going to drop, and it just makes it so much psychologically tougher. Number 2, thyroid T3 drops. Your T3, your active T3, is the light switch that turns on fat loss. When you're cutting constantly, when you've been in these for a while, it's going to kill this. What this is going to show up as is cold hands being cold at night, and it's going to make everything else harder. You probably didn't even know that. So more free game coming here. The next one is NEAT collapsing. We've talked about this in a ton of videos. NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is everything that's not working out. So fidgeting, moving around, steps. When you cut your food, you're going to subconsciously, without even knowing it, you're going to take the elevator more than you take the stairs. You're going to fidget less. You're going to be less, enthusiastic maybe with your mannerisms, with how you're showing up. And all of this leads to a NEAT collapse. And this can be hundreds of calories of difference. It's a very big deal. Then your sympathetic drive is also going to fall. This is very important. We need this for great training sessions. We need this for the day-to-day. Your parasympathetic is your rest and digest state. So when you're falling asleep, this is when you're resting. This is when you're not training. Your sympathetic is when you start to feel warm, when you feel good in a training session. You might feel bad going into it. That's when you've shifted to your sympathetic, your fight or flight nervous system. So that drive is going to fall, which leads to you feeling flat, unmotivated. It affects all areas of your life. The next one, glycogen is going to run low. Glycogen is what's going to make us have those huge pumps. It's going to allow our those carbohydrates to go into our muscles and allow us to have great sessions. This is, less performance, less reps. Your bars are going to feel heavier. You're just going to feel more terrible in your lifts. The next one is going to be cortisol is going to climb. Cortisol is the fat loss killer. When we cut food, your body doesn't know the difference between you trying to get a 6-pack and get shredded and being in a famine. And so it's going to try to protect you. So it's going to raise cortisol, of course, and it's just another stressor. It's another stressor, just like a big deal at work. It's another stressor like if you were overtraining in the gym. It's another stressor like you're with your kids, your wife, you have an argument. All of that raises cortisol. It's going to make it tough. This is going to make you have bad sleep. You're going to have water weight. You're going to look softer. The scale is also going to go up, which, whether you believe it or not, oh yeah, I don't really care. No, that's going to get in your head. You're going to be like, dang, am I doing the wrong things? Oh, maybe screw it. I'm just going to go eat this. I'm going to fall into my old habits, right? Everything it's a self-fulfilling cycle. And the last one is going to be sodium is going to crash. This is where you get terrible pumps, probably headaches. Remember, none of this is a weakness. It's all just data. We just need to remove emotion. When you have higher level strategies, you understand how to do this. So the 6 signals that you need to focus on. Remember, you've only been reading one. You've been reading the scale, which is good. It's really good, but it's not these. Okay, obviously the waking temperature. If it's trending down, you're pushing too hard. A lot of you probably be able to see this on your wearable data. If you don't, it's kind of just something that you'll notice. And this goes into number 2, which is cold hands. This is the first signal of that T3, that hormonal dysregulation. And when you don't eat food before you cut, when you don't implement refeeds, when you don't implement a strategy of raising food after your cut, because you can eat way more carbs and be even more shredded when your body takes those carbohydrates and really utilizes them as glycogen. Like, they are not the enemy. You just have to have a system and a long-term approach. A lot of people don't have the patience, or they don't have the skill set to be able to make these adjustments. This is exactly what I'm attempting to give you guys here. This is just like our client, Jared. He was 42 years old, founder, father of 2, and he's grinding. He's busy all day, and he wanted to make a change with his health. And he tried just like cutting the food and just doing the cart, and none of that worked. So we got him eating more food. We got him a really good plan in the gym, got him consistent and doing all these things. We looked at all these signals. We made adjustments. We added food. We needed to add food. And look at what happened. First time that he ever saw his 6-pack was at 42 years old. And so if he can do that, that was, I believe, like 4 or 5 months. So pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. If he can do it, you can do it. And it was all off of these systems that we use that make it happen coaching. Okay, the third one is a step count. So even if you feel like you're getting those steps, and if you're not measuring, we can't manage what we don't measure. And so if we need to measure these, whether it's on your phone, a wearable, whatever, we need to be aware and make sure that's staying up even when you are lowering the food, because your body's going to try to suppress that. Resting heart rate. This is really important to look at. It will raise, and it will make you, if it raises, you're less recovered. So your HRV, if it's higher, you're more recovered. If it's your resting heart rate, if it's lower, you're obviously more recovered. So we'll look at those 2 things. And then training is very, very important. What are our sessions looking like? Not how you felt, because you might feel good, but what were the weights? Another thing that we track. What was I lifting last week? Is my strength improving? Okay, and the 6th one, really, really important. Sleep, libido, mood. These are the biggest things, guys, especially sleep. It's incredible. So we look at these signals and how important they are. And I just have this little graphic down here too to really show you guys how important. Like 3,000 steps is 100 150 calories at least. That's a minimum. So think about that. That adds up. Like over weeks, that will be literally, pounds of fat loss. Here's the adjustments that we make when we do get into this. So when someone like Jared's like, we're seeing this when sleep is not great, when okay, we're super hungry, our neat's down. Okay, what do we do? First of all, like I said, we focus on the steps and restoring that first. Okay, did we hit the steps? If we didn't, we need to get that back up to where it is. Okay, if we're hitting that and then we're still not in a good spot, we're gonna slow the rate. This is gonna be so important, slowing the rate. And it kind of goes along with the structured breaks. And how important that is. Like when we talk about diet breaks or refeeds, what that's doing is we're just adding food, and it's so important, because if you're losing faster, when I say slow the rate too, I'm talking about the rate of weight loss, of fat loss. Ideally, you want to be losing about 1% per pound of body weight when you're cutting. Anything more than that, you're gonna really lose a lot of muscle. Now, some of you guys might be willing to do the speed trade-off, knowing that it's gonna take longer to gain the muscle in the long run. Some of you also might have a way different base you're coming from if you've been an athlete for years and years and years and you have all this stuff, right? So it's kind of different for every person. But that's what we can do. We can slow the rate down. We do the structured breaks. Now, a lot of this gets solved in the beginning, priming, adding food beforehand. And doing that. So this is kind of like a damage control Band-Aid. What we do is a true solution to the root problem. yeah, so like I said, the structured breaks, the refeeds, having a plan coming out of it. We raise food, and all of it's off all that biological data. And when we raise the food, you can actually raise your maintenance calories, and you can be eating more food and feel more shredded, look more shredded, feel phenomenal. And there's multiple studies that have shown that when someone does these refeeds, when they do metabolic priming before you get into a cut, it allows for more successful fat loss. And a lot of it is biological, but also a lot of it is psychological too. Imagine feeling better and not just feeling like trash during a cut and when you're really trying to get shredded, because it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. And then the fourth one is fixed sodium and volume. It's just really low hanging fruit. A lot of people are undersalted. And so you just need to add that, we Celtic sea salt is the best salt that you'll find out there. And that's very easy. Okay. And then 5, I've already talked about this, but this is the number one thing. It's metabolic priming, guys. We got to restore before we shred. And it's so important. We're literally talking about cutting from 2,000 calories or cutting from 3,000 calories. That's what we see. 1,000 calories improved in their individual's metabolism by fixing all these things, by sleep, cortisol, the leptin, the thyroid, all those. Like you have 1,000 more calories to go into a deficit from. Think about that. So you're gonna get great results. You're not just gonna lose weight instead of losing fat. So if I were to give you guys 3 takeaways to get results like this, very similar to what I did when I lost weight, got the most shredded I've ever been, and was eating 570 grams of carbs. The first one is you're going to look at this dashboard. It's going to be so important. I do this with the clients every single week, read all their stuff. I make adjustments. I take the emotion out of it. That's what I'm here for as a coach. Just like I have my own coach that's looking at my data, and I make those adjustments. And so we look at those signals and, okay, how was training, sleep, libido, all that stuff. And we make decisions from there when we get the data-driven decisions, not emotion. Number 2, when we see things light up on the dashboard, we go back to those adjustments I was just showing you, the 6 adjustments, and we make those along with others. This is just like covering one topic in what we do. 3, we're going to raise that food. Metabolic priming, guys. If you take anything away from this, it's so important. If you end up doing it with us, great. If you don't, there is a better way. You do not need to just starve yourself and murder yourself. Like I said, this is just like Jared, guys. Just like when I got these results, we added more food and he got more shredded. That's how it works. It sounds crazy, but it's not. There's a method behind the madness, and a lot of people just don't have the information, the experience, or know how to run someone through this. And what we do, the community that we have is full of 6-figure earners, high performers. This is not for everybody, but this is for you. If you're tired of just cutting and starting on Monday, restarting on Thursday, if you're tired of doing cut after cut and it just gets harder and harder, if you're tired of feeling your metabolic health is just destroyed, you feel terrible, and you feel like all these things resonate with you, this is exactly for you. So go DM me on Instagram, Nolan Alm. There's a link down below. And DM me Shred, and we can have a conversation and see if it's a good fit. You guys can see all our testimonials over there. Like I said, over 100 people. It's just kind of what we do. That's really it. We just get results. And so we're not looking just to take on a million more clients. We're looking for more success stories, just like Jared here, that men that want to maximize their income, maximize their impact, and use fitness as the foundation of their personal development, because it really is. And if that really sounds like you, if that resonates, then go click the link down below to book a call in, and we can have a conversation and see if we're a good fit. That's all I got for you guys today. We'll see you guys in the next video. Comment down below what you guys want to see more of. Like, subscribe. We'll see you on the next one. Make it happen. Out.